In today's video, I'm going to talk all about a prolapsed uterus. If you've never heard of this before, you're not alone. It's something that typically is more common with women who are menopausal or who have already had a vaginal birth. But the good news is if you do have a prolapsed uterus, there are some options that can help you get things back in place. And I'll go over all kinds of information regarding it now. First, you might be wondering what a prolapsed uterus is. The uterus is a muscular structure that is held in place by pelvic muscles and ligaments, and if these ligaments or muscles become weak, then it causes the uterus to slip down. The definition of prolapse is slipping or moving downward. In the event of uterine prolapse, the uterus slips down into the vaginal canal. A prolapsed uterus may be labeled incomplete or complete, and there's also 4 stages that define the prolapsed uterus. I'm going to read them off to you. Whenever I'm going over medical terms or medical definitions, I like to read them to make sure that I am accurate. So, the first degree is when the cervix drops into the vagina. The second degree, the cervix drops into the vagina just before the opening. The third degree, the cervix is outside of the vagina. And fourth degree is the entire uterus is outside the vagina. This condition is also called proscendentia. This is caused by a weakness in all of the supporting muscles. So now you're probably wondering what can cause prolapse. As mentioned before, prolapse means slipping or moving downward, so this can actually happen with any organ in the pelvic region, but there are a couple of different things that contribute to causing a prolapsed uterus to happen. Some of those reasons are pregnancy or childbirths with normal or complicated delivery through the vagina. This happens because childbirth is probably the biggest strain known ever for the pelvic region, so the straining can cause the prolapsed uterus to happen. Also, weakness in the pelvic muscles, weakening and loss of tissue tone after menopause, and loss of natural estrogen. Conditions leading to increased pressure in the abdomen, such as chronic cough with bronchitis or asthma or straining, being overweight with its additional strain on pelvic muscles, major surgery in the pelvic area leading to loss of external support. Basically, it's all about the muscle ligaments becoming weak and not being able to hold that uterus into place. So these are the most common factors that can cause the prolapse to happen. Now I'm going to go over all the symptoms of a prolapsed uterus. Keep in mind that the ranges vary from mild to severe, and there are a couple different symptoms, so if you have any of the symptoms, make sure to check with your doctor. The first one is you feel like you're sitting on a golf ball. All of our bodies are different, so if you do feel like you're sitting on a golf ball, this can mean that you're in the stage or degree 3 or 4 where the uterus is emerging from the vagina. Number 2 is difficulty urinating. Number 3 is constant cramping or pulling in the pelvic region. Number 4 is bowel issues, straining, constipation, things that don't feel quite right. Number 5 is painful sex. 6 is seeing your cervix physically birthing from the vagina. At this point, it's inevitable that you have a prolapsed uterus, and this is when it's come all the way out of the vagina, and you need to see your doctor at this point. A couple of ways you can prevent a prolapsed uterus from happening are exercises for the pelvic floor, just really strengthening those muscles and keeping them tight and strengthened so they can hold the uterus in place. Kegel exercises, which is when you tighten all the muscles in the pelvic region and release. You can do 3 sets of 10 of these each day just for some maintenance. If you're postmenopausal, you could look into hormones. As you do go through menopause, estrogen levels drop low, and that has been linked to weakening in the pelvic region. So your doctor could suggest an estrogen cream or suppository to help you out. Again, this is if you are low on hormones or if you are postmenopausal. The next option is a vaginal pessary. I hope I'm saying this right. It's a vaginal device that is used to support the uterus and keep everything in position. You want to make sure that you read the instructions and use this correctly and discuss it with your doctor. And last but not least, you can get surgery on the prolapsed uterus. This is the last option, and it typically is only needed if you are in stages 3 or 4 of the prolapsed uterus. Even with prolapse, many women have said that using a menstrual cup has worked out great for them. It's important that you measure your cervix first so you know the space that you're working with, but a lot of women have reported that using the Pixie Cup Luxe, which sits lower in your vaginal canal, has worked out for them. I do want to note that if you suspect that you have prolapse occurring, we do encourage you to go talk to your doctor. We are in no way doctors and we can't give any medical advice. These are just simple suggestions, but again, if you have any of the symptoms, make sure to get it checked out with your doctor just to be sure that everything is okay. I want to end the video on a couple questions. Have you ever experienced prolapsed uterus? How did you bounce back? How did a menstrual cup work if you did experience that? And again, we want to urge you to check out our different sizes of menstrual cups. We have different shapes, sizes, stem lengths. We have anything that you can really think of, and there is hopefully something that can work out for your prolapsed uterus.